Welcome! It's a great day to be a miner because we got some new hardware, baby. We're going to unbox this thing, we're going to set it up, we're going to go over the specs, features, and we're going to tell you, of course, where you can get it and how much it costs. But first, let's go ahead and spin that intro. All right, so first and foremost, what do we have here? This is a package from Bitcoin Merch. We're going to open it up. We're going to talk about it. I'm sure you already know what it is because you can read and it was in the description and probably in the thumbnail. But I digress. Let's pretend you have no idea what it is. And then we're going to say, what's in the package? What's in the box? Yeah. You know what time it is, baby. RGB knife. Never gets old. All right, let's open it up. First and foremost, let's provide our disclaimer. This item was provided to us at no charge. However, this is not a paid sponsored video, so the opinions are that of our own. That means I can say whatever I want to say and be truthful about how I feel about this product. So yeah, let's open it. All right, let's see what's in here first and foremost. Oh, what else we got? How's that even possible? Okay, anyway, so first and foremost, we've got our Banco Central de Venezuela. This is 100 Bolivars. It's Venezuelan money, and basically the gist of it is that this is pretty much worthless because of hyperinflation and governments. The back says, this is real Venezuelan Bolivar fiat bill. Governments and banks are printing unlimited money, making fiat currency useless. Check out our Bitcoin miners at bitcoinmerch.com. It's a really good marketing way that they do this. They're showing you that centralization, not necessarily the best optimal route. So there's that. They did give us another Bitcoin. We'll put that in our giveaway pile for later. And then they gave us a little card here with a Bitcoin merch sticker. If we can get this thing open, I might need to use 3 knobs to get this one. Okay, there we go. And inside of here is a Bitcoin merch logo sticker, and then a Bear Babies Bitcoin. That's kind of a cool sticker. It's got a little bear with dripping Bitcoin. And then in here just says, thank you for your purchase from Bitcoin. Leave us a review, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what is the prize? What did we get here? This is a Disruptor USB solo miner. It says right here on the box, Wi-Fi enabled open source software, active cooling, dynamic RGB lights, because we all know that RGB adds hash rate. So I'm expecting this thing to do at least 25% higher than it's rated because, of course, of the RGB. So it's packaged really nice, and it's in a Bitcoin merch specific box. So that means this product's probably created and sold specifically by Bitcoin merch. So yeah, this should be just a solo miner like any of the other USB setups, but this one does have Wi-Fi. So let's open it up and we'll take a look at it and we'll go over the specs on it and take a close-up look, of course, and see if what's in the box. What's in the box? Yeah, let's open it up. All right. Get that cellophane out of here. Packaged very nicely. Nice, specific. Even the interior box is well branded, Bitcoin merch all over it. And then inside of it is the prize. It is our USB stick, our Disruptor. It's just got a little fan, single fan, 10 millimeter thick, it looks like, probably a 20 by 20, something like that. 20 around 2020, and then 10 millimeters thick. A nice little heat sink underneath. USB. The back has a really cool design, although it's kind of odd because it's basically a Doge, a little Doge Merc with a M16 holding it. And it says freedom. Wow, lucky. Disruptor USB solo mining V1.0 BTC SHA-256. And I'm not sure why a Doge guy would be on a Bitcoin solo miner, but that's that. Bitcoinmerch.com PCB designs. This is a really sweet looking USB, way cooler than like the compact Fs that are in the Mars lander over here. It's just a plain red PCB. And these actually are supposed to hash like 300 gigahash. Here's the official description: inspired by American freedom and Dogecoin patriotic design, although this isn't a Doge miner, so I'm not sure about that one. Again, the backside features a stunning Doge silhouette with an American flag backdrop, combining crypto culture and patriotism. Doge with sunglasses, holding an M16 in the background of an American flag, made and assembled in the USA. So this is interesting. This is what we need to know. It uses BM1366 chips from a Bitmain. I believe that's an ASIC S20 miner. If that's incorrect, make sure to correct me down in the comments. Okay, here's what it's telling us. 300 gigahash hashing power. Enjoy high performance solo mining with impressive 300 plus gigahash at an ultra efficient 15 watts of performance. So yeah, that's pretty nifty. And I believe these will just set up exactly like our NerdMiner USB sticks. If you need to check that video out, check that out above. They are itty bitty in the hash rate, however, boasting about 75 kilohash. So 1,000 kilohash is a gigahash. This is 300, up and over 300 gigahash. So these are way, way more powerful than that. But yet, these are actually probably as powerful as the lower Bitaxes, the Ultra, for example. It's probably right around a Bitaxe Ultra. So, but first we're gonna take a good close-up look at this thing, and then we're gonna get it set up in mining, and then we'll give you our honest opinion of whether or not you should buy it, and whether or not this is worth the cost. So yeah, let's go. All right, she is a really pretty piece of hardware. So the first and foremost, let's go ahead and get our setup. What are we gonna need for the setup? We're gonna need a power source, and we're gonna need this. That's it, because this will connect to your existing Wi-Fi. Normally you would plug this in. You can plug it into a computer or a USB hub, something to power it. Today we're going to use just a USB power brick, a power bank. This is just I think it's like a 20,000 milliamp power bank, and it's actually a pretty solid one. But we're just gonna use it to power our device. Physical setup is literally you plug into power and then you start the actual connectivity and set it up. So before we actually start that, let's give you an important pro tip. Go ahead and whatever mobile device that you're gonna connect to set this thing up with, go ahead and copy onto the clipboard of that device the pool. Go find your pool, your port that you're gonna use, and your wallet address that you're going to mine to. That's gotta be a SHA-256 address, coin such as Bitcoin. This could also mine Bitcoin Cash or another associated SHA-256 coin. If you need to know how to find that, go to miningpoolstats.stream, sort by SHA-256, go down through there, find which coin you want, click it, find a pool that you want, jump to that pool, and it will give you the pool address to mine to, the port that will be mined to, and then of course you need to use your own associated Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, whatever address that you're mining to that you'll plug in. So yeah, I've already went ahead and copied that stuff. I'm gonna plug it in, and then we're going to use our mobile device, phone, laptop, tablet, whatever, and we're gonna connect to the Wi-Fi network created by this guy. So first I'm gonna power on the power bank, and then we're just gonna plug it in. So of course it's gonna be reversed from what I would prefer. And there's our initial powering up. We've got a lot of little LEDs blinking. Oh yeah, those are actually kind of pretty. Little blue LEDs blinking all over it. And then we got nothing, it's still blinking. Okay, so now that it's blinking, let's go ahead and use our device, and we're gonna go to our Wi-Fi settings, and we're gonna see if we can find this Wi-Fi network. I selected the Wi-Fi up in the corner, and then I'm going to scroll down and see if it finds a new Wi-Fi just for this guy. Okay, so what was interesting on this one specifically is that when I went to find the Wi-Fi, it actually came up as a Bitaxe underscore and then some numbers. I connected to it, and sure enough, this is considered as a Bitaxe. And well, if you go to the official instructions, which I'll include down in the link, down in the description below, the official instructions, it actually says that it will find a network called Disruptor. This one found it as Bitaxe. So I connected to the network Bitaxe, then I went to my browser and I opened 192.168.4.1, which is the common thing for any kind of Bitaxe, many of these solo miners. And sure enough, it pops right up and it says AxeOS. So it literally is an AxeOS. It says right here 303 gigahash expected. Now, from here, let's pop a picture of that up on the screen. But then from here, we're gonna hit the 3 lines in the top left corner to get to our menu. We are wanting to set up the network to connect to us. First and foremost, we're gonna set up the network, then we're gonna plug in the pool and our wallet. So we're gonna hit network in the top corner. And then it says host name. So host name is what this device will be called when it shows up on your router, on your Wi-Fi network. So I want to change the host name first and foremost. It just comes up as Expressive, and that's kind of what a lot of these default to. So I'm going to rename that to Disruptor. And then I'm going to go down to the Wi-Fi SSID. I'm going to go down to my Wi-Fi SSID and my Wi-Fi password, and that's going to be what I want, what my Wi-Fi network is here that I'm going to want this to connect to. So I'm going to plug it in, make sure that it is exactly caps, spaces, whatever that you have your SSID and your password. So we're going to do my Wi-Fi network. I'm going to put in my Wi-Fi password. And then I am going to hit save. Now, before that takes effect, you actually have to reboot this. I'm not gonna reboot yet. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the pool and the port and the Bitcoin wallet address. So I'm gonna, again, hit my 3 lines. I'm gonna select pool settings this time. And now it has some default settings in here. The Stratum host they have in is publicpool.io. They have the port in for that, and then they have a default Bitcoin address. Of course, we want to get that default at the bare minimum. You have to replace that Stratum user with your wallet address so that if you do hit a block, it actually pays out to you. So I'm going to change the pool from publicpool.io, and for this one, I am going to use pool.vkbit.com. And it says right underneath of it, do not include the Stratum plus TCP ://. Some of them do, some of them don't. For this one, we're not going to. And then we're going to put in our port, which is 3333. And so we're going to erase the Stratum. And I'll show you what that looks like as soon as I get that in. And there's what that looks like. We've got pool.vkbit.com, Stratum port 3333. Now for a Stratum user, it's going to be our Bitcoin wallet address dot our worker name. So it's going to be my Bitcoin wallet address and then dot, and I'm going to name it Disruptor. .disruptor. And then I'm going to put in a Stratum password. And now for our fallback, fallback Stratum host, that would be if your main port that you're trying, or your main pool that you're trying to connect to fails for some reason. The pool goes into maintenance mode, whatever. It can roll over to an alternate address. For theirs, they have solo.ckpool.org, which I use a lot. I'm going to leave it in there, but I am going to replace the fallback Stratum user with, again, my Bitcoin address .disruptor, just so that I know what the name is. Update the password, and now I'm going to hit save on that. Now that I've got the pool address and the port, my Bitcoin address, I've got the network settings, I'm going to hit restart. I'm gonna hit the 3 lines in the top corner, and then I'm gonna hit restart. It's gonna reboot this thing, and then it will, this will disconnect. It will connect to my Wi-Fi network. So we're hitting restart. And let's see if it, there it goes. See, it went back to the blue flashing lights. And so now I won't be able to connect to it with the 192.168.4.1 because this should now be connecting and getting a new local IP address assigned by my Wi-Fi router, which will be a 192.168.1. whatever. It might be .200.1. whatever that is assigned, because it's a dynamic IP. And look, now the lights started flashing, so that's telling me that it is actually up and connected since the lights are now to the RGB. So now we're gonna hop over into our router. We're gonna find this guy. We just named it Disruptor. So when we go to look for it under our connected, we go into our Wi-Fi router, and then we'll go into our connected users. It will say Disruptor, and we'll be able to get the IP address for it. So let's go grab the IP. Let's connect to it. Go. All right, so we went ahead and we connected to our Wi-Fi router, our 192.168, and ours is .1.1. We connect to our router. We logged in with our admin password. We went to current users. We found the new item that's in there. This is, again, I renamed the host name of this to Disruptor, so it was really easy to find. I went and found Disruptor, found the IP address, the local IP address. Then I just plugged it into my browser on my phone, since it's on the same network, and sure enough, it is hashing away. It is hashing at current rate of 373 gigahash. So that's well above the 300 gigahash advertised. Okay, so the interesting part that I really like about this thing so far, just from the setup was easy. It's the same as pretty much any of my other Bitaxes, and it fired right up. I connected right to it. Another pro tip, if your network, if you can't connect to it, you try to connect to it, then you go to your web browser and you go to 192.168.4.1 and it doesn't connect. What you should do is go to your Wi-Fi networks, disconnect from the Wi-Fi network, which is the Bitaxe or Disruptor, whatever it's going to be called. Disconnect from it, restart it, search for it again, reconnect, and then it should be able to get to the settings, and then you should be able to connect to it and put in your settings. So what I really like about this thing is that it is running off of AxeOS, right? So that's glorious, right? Because AxeOS is open source. It's continually updating. It's continually to improve. The GUI keeps getting better. The settings, the options, because there's a lot of people involved and a lot of people put in their input. A lot of people much smarter than myself are actually working on the back end of this. So yeah, that's it. That is the in-depth full setup of this guy, getting it running. So let's go check our hash rate again. And we did go ahead and check on VKBit, and it is hashing. It was detected right away. The hash rate showing up there. Now, how much the hash rate compares from what's in here versus what's in the pool, that will take some time to run it to see. But currently we are still at 333 gigahash, and it's showing an efficiency of 25.83 joules per terahash, which is solid, but again, it is a older chip, the BM1366, and not the newer BM1370 like the Bitaxe Gamma uses, but that's also why it is much lower power and will run off of USB. So there it is, this full setup. Now let's talk about the cost and where to get it. Obviously, let's start with the where to get it. Bitcoin merch. That's the only place that has this specific model, this specific Disruptor with the cool USB design, with the lights, with the cool Doge Merc on the back with the M16. Bitcoin merch. How much does this cost? This cost is $99 even, so not a bad price. That seems pretty reasonable for 333 gigahash. So what is in that comparable range? You're gonna buy, you could get a Bitaxe Ultra is about the same. Bitaxe Supra will have a little bit more hash rate, but a little bit more cost and a little bit more power. And then if you go clear up to a Bitaxe Gamma, you're gonna pay probably about 150 bucks, and the Bitaxe Gamma will do 1.2 terahash. So it'll be about 4 times this. So who is this for? Who's the appeal for this? Anyone who's wanting to get into Bitcoin mining, who's newer to the game, wants to be part of the blockchain. Will this ever pay off? Probably not. You'll probably never make a return on this investment. but there's a chance that someday I'll wake up and this thing will have hit a Bitcoin block where 3.125 Bitcoin times over 100,000. So yeah, do the math on 300 and some $1,000 on this $100 device. Again, the chances are very tiny, but there is a chance. So what about you? Tell me your thoughts down below. What do you think of this device, this mining disruptor? Is it worth the cost? Is it worth the price? I love this little device, and you know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna plug it into the same stack with the Mars Lander, the 4 Compact Fs, and I'm gonna put it on front because it actually looks really cool with the blinking LEDs. Either that or I'll just use a single USB stand-up. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll use one of the little stand-up USB pods, so I'll just have it standing vertically, and then that way I have it pointing out and it looks good, and that's probably what we'll do. We'll add it to the set, we'll plug it into that USB hub, and we'll get it mining. But tell us your thoughts. Is this worth it? Would you buy this? Would you prefer like a Bitaxe? Is there a different device that you would prefer over it for the cost or performance? Tell me your thoughts down below in the comments. I think that about wraps it up for today's video. If you're new to mining, you need some help, make sure to join the Misfit Mining Discord. Always plenty of seasoned vets in there willing to help you out. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Smash that like button and subscribe for future content. Thanks for coming along and enjoy the ride. Need some help, make sure to join the Misfit Mining Discord.